Hello, hello, people of the internet. It is I, Soul Rack Dragon, here, back with more Fate Grand Order, where today there's no events or anything going on, so we're just gonna chill out and relax with some interludes today. Two, as has become our standard. But, there has been announcement news, which I will, of course, go over first. So, first off, the Pilgrimage Festival Part 2 is out, which gets you 2 more of the Ellie-chans, Nobu or Achan, if you have the stuff. Look at that full spread. Look at Achan there. She's rocking. She definitely deserves that spotlight picture, for sure, but it is sad because it means we will not get to experience her event again. So sad. But, yeah, so that's that. I'm not going to go over all that. It will be continuing login, campaign stuff, including some master missions, which I should probably take care of, because that's some free quartz and lore. But, yeah. Not much else, really. Oh, look, it's a good thing I kept scrolling. It looks like there is some rank ups here that I was not aware of. So, looks like Cass Ellie's innocent monster has been evolved into Halloween Star, which is now gain crit stars for every turn for 3 turns has been strengthened, restore HP strengthened, remove 1 buff for all enemies, and when removal is successful, apply Happy Halloween, a special decrease critical state to the target for 3 turns. Increase MP gauge for yourself according to the number of enemies in a Happy Halloween state. Good gracious, we're getting to Yu-Gi-Oh! Card levels of skill descriptions here. Brave Elizabeth's NP has been upgraded to a V rank NP. I imagine that might be some reference to Dragon Quest, which is what Saber Ellie is a reference to, but I do not recognize it. Anyways, her significant defense ignoring damage has been strengthened, and she will now also apply Spreading Fire to the single enemy she targets. Nobu's strategy has evolved to Nobunaga Tactics. Buster effectiveness for 3 turns have been added, NP strength for 3 turns has been added, and an NP gain for all allies. Man, they didn't buff Achan. Sadness. Tears. I cry every time. But there is Ordeal Call pre-release pickup summoning for, looks like, I was gonna say only the first Lost Belt servants, but then they throw Dobranya in there as well. Oh, looks like the Heretical Yaga will be featured in pickup summons. I don't think... Isn't that the end of LB1 craft essence you get? So yeah, no other things will change. But this is just the standard announcement of a summoning campaign, which I'm not going to participate in. So we'll just skip on that. I said skip on that. Pre-release campaign. So, leading up to the release of Ordeal Call scheduled for 5/8 of 2025. So 5/8/2025 is Ordeal Call. I guess. So that is Thursday. Because of course it is. They can never schedule things for release on a Friday or a Monday. Although that could still technically be a Friday. I guess that week's gonna be a little bit different as far as stream schedule goes, huh? We're holding an Ordeal Call pre-release campaign. Use this campaign to help you progress through the main quest in preparation for the release of Ordeal Call. In-game graphics may vary from the images used within this article. So preparation, main quest, so you get extra. It's quarter AP through Part 2, Chapter 6. All of Part 2, Chapter 7 is half AP cost. Leyline Stone, people get more of those. They've been added to the Mana Exchange, Mana Prism Exchange, and that's kind of all the pre-release stuff. But then the Ordeal Call release date announcement, which we kind of already read about. After completing operations in the 7th Lost Belt, a new trial awaits Novum Chaldea. Operation Ordeal Call, a new journey to correct the distortion on the bleached earth, goes into motion. In-game graphics may vary from the images used within this article. So this will be released on the 8th of May. You need to have cleared Ordeal Call Prologue, but you do not need to have completed the pseudo-singularities 1 through 4, or Trom slash... What was 5-5? Was that Imaginary Scramble? No, that was Hien Kyo. You do not need to clear Trom or Hien Kyo, which is weird with relation to Trom, admittedly. Operation Ordeal Call. Ordeal Call, a reinvestigation of the Bleached Earth ahead of the incoming decisive battle. After their travels in the Lost Belts, Masters must face the distortion they themselves have caused on an Earth that has been quite literally returned to a blank slate. Investigate the Bleached Earth and raise your skill as a Master to prepare for the trials ahead. Okay, so this is seeming like a little bit of something here. Expend Storm Pods to travel the Bleached Earth and collect Sand of Starlight. Use Sand of Starlight to unlock a class score, whatever that is. I see the 7 classes. Strengthen a... Okay. Strengthen a class. Interesting. Use Storm Pods to reinvestigate the Bleached Earth. In Ordeal Call, you can freely travel across the Bleached Earth to make your investigations. More and more new free quests and high difficulty quests will appear on the Bleached Earth. We'll announce more details of these quests in the article scheduled for 5/8/25. In order to play the Bleached Earth free quests, you'll need to expend the new Storm Pod item in addition to AP. Storm Pod, an energy tank for the Storm Border, essential for exploring the Bleached Earth. How to get them. 3 will be available as a login bonus every day. Masters who have cleared Ordeal Call Prologue as well as Ordeal Call 0. So we're starting at 0 now. Oh gosh. I wonder if we're going to be going 2.8 Return by Sleep or whatever it was. Are we going to be... Yeah, are we going to be doing Fate Grand Order Ordeal Call 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue here or something as well? But you can hold a max of 9 Storm Pods. Okay, so, I guess that's going to be very dependent on a lot of things to determine how often we run those missions. You can hold a maximum of 9 Storm Pods at once. If your Storm Pod total would exceed that limit when you first log in each day, you will not be able to receive the excess Storm Pods that day. Masters who have cleared Ordeal Call will be eligible for the login bonus. Power up servants with a certain class with the new class score system. In order to prepare for the trials ahead, we're implementing class score, a new system that will allow you to strengthen each class by improving your skill as a master. Each class score is made up of a series of spaces called signs. 9 class scores will be available, representing different 9? There's, like, way more than 9 classes. In addition to the base 7, you have 8, 9, 10 Ruler, Avenger, Alter Ego, 11 Forerunner, 12 Shielder, 13 with Pretender. I think it's just 13, actually. Unless I'm missing something. I don't think I'm missing anything. I think it's 13 classes. I guess Beast, so 14... I guess. Still, only 9? That's weird. Unlock the sign for the classes you want to strengthen to give all servants of the affected class a variety of strengthening effects. Masters, yeah, you keep repeating that. Unlock a class sign, choose the class you want to strengthen carefully. To unlock a sign, you need a new item, Sand of Starlight, in addition to already existing items and QP. Okay, so it's not going to be that simple. Clear quests on the Bleached Earth to get the Sand of Starlight, sand that twinkles and shines like the stars of the galaxy. Its brilliance carves a course through the darkness of space. Not all star signs can be unlocked right away. Only the central class symbols or signs connected by a route to a sign that has already been unlocked can be unlocked. Unlocking the Tour Locks. The route to a certain sign is sealed with a Tour Lock, which cannot be unlocked when you first access the system. In order to unlock the Tour Lock, you need to clear certain missions in the newly added Torch system, and use the newly added Torch items. Torches are divided into 3 levels: Torch of Nova, Torch of the Morning Star, and Torch of the Polar Star. You can get torches by clearing high difficulty quests on the Bleached Earth by clearing missions. The Torch of Nova, the star as it began to shine like a new ember that will soon light a new path. The torch of the morning star, the brightest star, is as a lighthouse, illuminating a new route. And the torch of the polar star, the star that never moves, is like a beacon shining to the farthest reaches of the sea. Ordeal Call 1 is coming mid-May. So, Ordeal Call and Ordeal Call 0 is coming out May the 8th. Ordeal Call 1 is coming out mid-May. If I had to guess, so just having a general idea of what I do about the Fate, or the FGO scheduling release, if 5/8 is the release of Ordeal Call 0/Ordeal Call 1, they will give us either 1 or 2 weeks in order to get a good feel for Ordeal Call 0 and Ordeal Call. So I'm predicting the week that the 23rd of May will be the absolute latest that they will be releasing this Ordeal Call 1. I'd love to say it's going to be the very next week after Ordeal Call 0's release, but that might be a bit too soon. Maybe they could do it on the 19th, but the 15th would be accurate for mid-May, but we'll see, I guess. Operation Ordeal Call begins with the reinvestigation of the Bleached Earth. Each Ordeal Call chapter tells the story of a turning point in the final journey. Moon Cancer! I forgot about Moon Cancer, so that makes it like 15 classes or something like that. Hey, J6, welcome to the stream. Howdy things. No lag today! Hooray, no lag. The curtain rises on the first trial in Ordeal Call 1, scheduled for mid-May 2025 release. Look forward to the class score system, sure to be useful as a master, and more developments in the future. Ordeal Call 1 is coming mid-May 2025. Investigate the Bleached Earth and prepare for the final battle ahead. Yeah. Ordeal Call pre-release and more will be ongoing for a limited time. Please see the articles linked below for details. True, not Wednesday. Oh, that sucks, man. I am feeling bad that you are not feeling good. Feeling bad that you're not feeling good. Because being sick is never a fun time. I should know. I was literally... My throat felt like sandpaper on Friday, and I could barely speak. And I don't really remember much of Friday, because even though it really hits me hard, I had to take cough medicine. I remember waking up at like 8 in the morning. My throat hurt really bad. I took cough medicine. Then I remember waking up at like 5 o'clock, having dinner, taking more cough medicine. And then I remember waking up on Saturday, feeling better. So, yeah. I don't remember much of what happened Friday. So there will be a broadcast on Wednesday to announce more about details about Ordeal Call. You're burning something in because it's windy. You inhaled a lot of smoke, didn't ya? Smoke inhalation is no bueno. Smoke inhalation is no good. That sucks, man. I can imagine so. I can imagine so. Suffer you are indeed. I feel sorry. Sadness. Tears. I cry every time. Well, it's not the same kind of suffering that you went through, but I went through a little bit of suffering myself over the course of this weekend because I had my first assignment for web design, and it was nothing. In the end, it wasn't too complicated, but essentially the first step was essentially writing out a proof of concept for what we would do to design a website. So we were given a list of topics to choose from and write out a detailed plan, and then we had to develop a sitemap as well as what's it called? Is it web chain? No, it's not a web chain. I can't remember what else it's called. We had to essentially develop a... Okay, so it was the basis of the web page without any of the HTMLs and stuff. Essentially, I had to develop the sitemap for 5 different... I had to develop a sitemap for this theoretical website, and then I had to develop 5 different pages for this website that would cover each of the various points on the sitemap. So I needed to develop a home page, an about page, a context page, and 2 other pages without any coding going on, mind you. So it was more just I had to figure out how to use this online program. Figma, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Figma. I had to essentially figure out how to use Figma in order to create all of this. And that took, yes, WebFrame. I think that might have been what it was called. WebFrame? Yes, I think I needed to develop webframes or something. I don't remember. Figma, yeah. I hadn't heard of it before this class either, but it's what we were suggested to use, and it was pretty easy once I figured everything out, but I spent like a good hour just like frustrated as I had no idea what the hell I was doing. But then I gradually grew accustomed to doing so. Yeah, it's not that bad yet. But again, this was like the first practical bit of anything I've had to do. Oh, looks like we get a support cast skill. Do I want a support cast skill or do I want my cast skill? I kind of want my cast skill here. Bye, Geronimo. Cast skill, where are you? There you are. Alright. Let's roll. You're happy and confused about the new Summer Pockets episode. So are they redeeming themselves a little bit then? Delicious H2O. Anyways, like I said earlier, we are doing interludes today, so I'm gonna begin. So we've taken you through almost all of Chaldea. What do you think, King Gilgamesh? Honestly, I'm dumbfounded. Saying this is a group that will save humanity is a bold, bold claim. Staff morale is at its absolute limit. Is this meant to be some sort of endurance contest? See Chuny moments from your second favorite, which is hilarious. Watching Chuny moments is always fun. It is always good to see somebody act a Chuny. Rurik was in better shape after being attacked by Gugalana than this place is now. Oh well, I suppose I will retract that. Forget it, I cannot imagine you wanting to be compared to that. While I appreciate the Wise King's thoughtful criticisms, please understand that we received no outside help. Oh, J6, really quickly. Can you check my Discord to see if the bot that I set up worked and announced that the stream started? Can you please check that for me? I forgot to check that. It went through on Discord? Okay. So that's one thing I got working. Yay! But, Romani! While I appreciate the Wise King's thoughtful criticisms, please understand that we received no outside help. We've operated for an entire year with only Chaldea's own stockpile of supplies. I hope you'll take that into consideration. Besides, the difficult battles have almost come to an end. This next one is our last. We just have to keep going a little bit longer. That might be fine with you, but know that life goes on even after the King of Mages is defeated. It is the duty of the commander, who is responsible for the lives of so many, to always be thinking of the future. If you cannot do that, then turn command over to that heroic spirit over there. Da Vinci? Da Vinci? Oh, are you talking about me? Oh, King Gilgamesh. How do you do? Only certain people can post. Yeah, that should be that is a good point. I will have to set that restriction up. That is an excellent suggestion. I'm not really one of his defenders, but the acting director is doing a great job. Chaldea could easily have been utterly destroyed when it lost its director. But Romani was the one who helped everyone back to their feet. Had I been at the helm, well, I may have gotten more impressive results, but we would most likely have lost more people doing so. But I do understand what Gilgamesh is getting at. Romani works too much. Take some time to rest before the last mission. All that aside, the way you're going, you'll only end up killing yourself from overwork. That'd be a grave situation indeed, if the doctor collapses on us now. Can't exactly ask Aresh for any favors. No, since we're in Chaldea, even if his soul leaves his body, we can't ask Ereshkigal to send it back. Overwork, I think I just felt a chill. Not that such a concept has any meaning to me. But I suppose there's always a chance. Best be careful. You too, Romani. It'll be fine. I don't intend on collapsing anytime soon. I'll pace myself. You know, if I'm being honest, King Gilgamesh taking a personal interest in my health is a little bit unnerving, really. Confused showed part of 2 herons. So it's sounding like they might be doing an original Fate Stay Night by Studio Dean and just mishmashing all of the routes together. They might just be doing a little bit of a mishmash of everybody's routes together, it sounds like. How many episodes is this going to be, by the way? Because, like I said, I will probably give it a watch when it's all said and done, but I kind of want to know what I'm going to be getting into. If it's going to be a nice, short, 8-episode ride like the Devil May Cry anime, or if it's going to be a long journey like a lot of animes that are like 24, 25 episodes. Does that mean he considers me to be worthy? Fool. The number of humans I consider to be worthy must always remain very small. All I'm saying is that you are Chaldea's Achilles' heel. Keep that in mind. And if you cannot do something even that simple, then I have nothing else to say. I'll send you to the underworld myself. He's unleashing his noble phantasm in the command room. Even when you get more mature, you're still alarmingly childish. Now, grow up, both of you. Why don't you rest for today, since King Gilgamesh is insisting? Fortunately, there's nothing that needs your attention right now. I suppose. Well, then I suppose I'll rest after I check for Maji Mari updates. And that's part of the problem. Skip the distractions part. Yes, fine. I'll go turn in for the night. That man's unbelievable. He cannot even manage something as simple as going to sleep. Fine, I have an understanding of how Chaldea works, and now I shall rest. Don't bother me, mongrel. You're not sure? That's fair. King Gilgamesh has gone back to his room. You did a good job showing him around today, Senpai. Will you also take a rest? Yes, we will both take a rest at the same time in the same room, Mash. Come on, let's go and take a rest. Don't mind us, Da Vinci. That's understandable. He may not look like it, but he can be quite the handful. He had so many questions. What's that? How do you use that? And on and on. Well, they weren't actually questions, but it was almost more like a test, right? It's his way of seeing how much the soul knows about Chaldea. Yes, that's exactly what I thought he was trying to do. I think he was actually enjoying himself, though. I'm gonna go take a nap. Come on, Mash. Nap time. I should. I'll wake you up for dinner. Good night, Senpai. You know, it's kind of funny thinking all the way back to then. All the way back to the original days of FGO. Where Mash was the one and only waifu, but gradually more started to come to be. I think Melt was literally the second waifu, with the Seraph chapter. Actually, no, I think Achan might have came second. I'm pretty sure Achan was the Valentine's servant after, like, immediately after the whole Solomon singularity. And then it was, I think Jalter started working her way in, because Shinjuku was before Seraph. But Melt kind of jumped a lot of places in that event. Seraph really, like, skipped Melt straight to next to Mash. Just a little bit underneath her, but yeah. Seraph really jumped Melt up a lot of positions. I think summer is when Jalter really, truly took her shine. And of course, that Christmas event with Ereshkigal really solidified her place as well. Anyways, Senpai, I'm sorry for interrupting your rest, but something terrible has happened. The doctor. He didn't collapse, did he? No, one of the staff members went to the doctor's room to give him something to look over. But since he didn't answer and the door was open, they went into his room. He's nowhere to be found. The doctor's not anywhere in Chaldea. You're late. How long were you planning on snoozing? Well, I did just awaken myself. Shouldn't you be resting? You're 4,000 years too young to be worrying about my welfare. Besides, any time spent not fighting the King of Mages is time spent resting to me. You just worry about the matter at hand. Leave worrying about the future to those with clairvoyance. Excuse me. Thank you. So, King Gilgamesh, where's the doctor? Alright, let me give you a quick briefing. First, 7 staff members mysteriously fell unconscious. The condition doesn't seem life-threatening, but we also can't seem to wake them. And Romani's disappeared from Galtea. We even tried looking in the tea room behind the storage room. What's that? I was not shown this room. No matter. Are there any other clues, Da Vinci? Apparently, somebody race-shifted to Fuyuki in 2004. No, to Singularity F. Oh, that place somehow sounds familiar. Fuyuki. Fuyuki. It's similar to Uruk. No, that's not it. And is that all you know? Those who collapsed were analysts. That's all we know. If we piece together what we know so far, it looks like Romani somehow rendered these staff members unconscious. And then ray-shifted. At least, that's what the facts seem to point to. Dr. Roman had the aptitude to ray-shift. We've never really verified. No, but even if he did, the doctor's not the type of person to do something like this. Are there any other possibilities, Da Vinci? You say that, but the only other possible culprit would be me. But I'm here, and there's no reason for me to ray-shift to Singularity F in the first place. Strange things happen in Chaldea all the time. We need to respond swiftly, even to the worst of scenarios. True, he is related to Singularity F. True enough. At times like this, I wish Holmes were here. What's this about some detective? Have you forgotten that I'm here? I can solve something so trivial as this in a heartbeat, you hear me? A heartbeat. However, even I cannot see into the past. We'll need to be more proactive. We must go to the scene of the crime ourselves, Soul. Yes, I'll make preparations immediately. No, Mash, not you. You're staying behind. A ray shift requires an operator, yes? The usual operators are unconscious, and so we shall need a replacement. Luckily, we still have half of the operators. Ask them to teach you as their Kohai. No, she's my Kohai, Gil. She's only my Kohai. It will probably be useful later. Gilgamesh with his clairvoyance. Predicting that Mesh would have to be a ray shift operator. I see you, Gil. I see you. But someone must protect Master during the ray shift missions. Did I not say I was going, or do you not trust in my strength? I do. There's no need to worry with King Gilgamesh here. Good response. It appears I will have to be careful. Now begin the ray shift. We're going to head to the scene of the crime, Soul. Leave the doctor to me, Mash. I'm not a yandere. I'm not a yandere at all. So, I'm just really quickly checking, and it does look like this interlude is released after the events of the Singularity at the Temple of Time. Interesting. Reshift successful. I'm glad there was an instruction manual that covered emergency procedures. It helps that we have plenty of data on Fuyuki, but the Romani, where did he run off to? Now then, did he elect to do this himself, or did someone make it look like this was the case? What do you think, Soul? Don't think he chose this. I see. If you're so certain, it must be true. That was a very heavy footstep for Jack. Blood loss that can be felt even when using presence concealment. How boorish. How impudent. I suppose I should expect as much in a hellish place. Ha! Try taking my measure with an attitude like that. Absolutely laughable. Stand back, mongrel. I'm going to capture that thing and drag the information we need out of it. Commencing operation. Yeah, I know. It's just kind of funny that this was released literally before Part 2 dropped. You know? I just kind of find it a little ironic that Oh man, we're talking about Romani when Romani's long gone. It's kind of funny. Okay, so only one wave. In which case, we're gonna lead with an NP. And I understood none of what you just said there, Gil. Absolutely none of it. Let me see if I can't find the exact name for what I had to make earlier today while this fight is going on, because I feel like this fight is going to take a little while. Feel free to ask them. Questions, they are fun as long as I can answer them, though. Of course you got evasion. It's a full turn evasion, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. Stargen. How far apart is Malekith from the Godskin duo? Drawing on my memory banks. Of course you would remove Gil's buffs, by the way, Jack, of course. I'm trying to draw back on my old memory of that time of my life. I want to say they're not too far apart. There is essentially another dragon, another horse rider enemy on a staircase that is a sort of last stand between Malekith as well. I want to... Have you gotten to the point where you could technically go to Placidusax? Because I want to say the Placidusax point is before the Godskin duo. Can get a Gil MP here. And then do that. Draconic Sentinel, that's what's called. You're just planning to do a boss rush at some point. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I honestly can't remember. Wireframe is what it was called, by the way. That's what I need to do. I need to make a wireframe. That's what it was. For my class, that is. I just looked back at my YouTube history because I looked up a wireframe tutorial, so I had an idea of what exactly it was doing. But yeah, that was fun. Hey, welcome to the stream, Noblesk. Welcome to the stream. I very much enjoyed the Lilim Harlot event. It definitely gave me a greater appreciation for the Umu. The Umu has definitely moved up in the rankings for me as far from the event. Because, honestly, it really paints her as a tragic character. I didn't realize that, you know, she killed herself. Or that even normal Nero killed himself. I never knew that. So, it was a startling realization, but a good one. At the same time, it definitely gave me a greater appreciation. Well, you may have stopped reading the event stories, J6, but you've been in my streams for a lot of them, unless you're saying that you just tune me out when I read story dialogue, that is. It appears you put too much energy into concealing your identity and made yourself weak in battle. Or have you underestimated me because I'm a caster? Fool, I may be a mage, but I'll never forget that I am the king of heroes. Retreat. Escaping the instant I let my guard down with my boisterous laughter. Such insolence. A coward who refuses to show their face is not an enemy to be taken seriously in any case. The enemy concealed their identity completely. We tried to analyze them from here, but... I see. Mongrel the serpents you have summoned. Can any conceal their own identities? Jack. Typical Jack move. Yeah. Typical Jack move there. Oh, Jackie, why are you being bad? You don't even have Abby to influence you. Abby is like the worst influence for all the children's servants. She is the most, I guess, bad of them, technically speaking. Because, you know, the whole Eldritch thing. We don't need Nursery Rhyme to suddenly gain a Necronomicon form. She's not the worst. She doesn't have the Necronomicon yet. Nursery does not have the Necronomicon yet. But if Nursery hangs around Abby for too long, I could definitely see us getting a Necronomicon-esque Ascension. Or a fully different servant. Jack the Ripper would be at the top. How can this be? What's going on? Sorry, I just realized that a handful of servants' ratings have disappeared from Chaldea too. It took us some time to confirm since we're missing some of our staff. I usually make it a habit to check on the spirit origin graphs. I ran a quick check and Jack is indeed missing. The spirit origin pattern still shows it's in an excited state, which means she still is summoned. We're trying to sort out which servants are missing. Hold on a moment, okay? This is all really convenient. Senpai, I'm picking up a servant nearby. Please proceed with caution. Exactly. That would be the Abby influence. Abby is literally eldritch. She is the future Grand Foreigner. I fully believe Abby will be the future Grand Foreigner, because she is the vessel for Yog-Sothoth, who is only second to Azathoth, the slumbering idiot. Yog-Sothoth is even said to have been possible to survive the awakening of Azathoth. So if Yog-Sothoth can survive the awakening of Azathoth, that means that Abby will be even better than any other foreigner. And technically a false statement, though, J6. Very technically a false statement. Because we've already had a Grand Foreigner. We've already had a Grand Foreigner. But I do not acknowledge them as a Grand Foreigner. I do not acknowledge that thing as a Grand Foreigner. It cheated. One Radiant thing. One Radiant thing was a Grand Foreigner class servant. ORT. It literally said it was summoning itself as a Grand class servant back in the conclusion of LB7. So, yeah. We can have Grands of the extra classes. Yes, Nursery being conceptual, if anything else. Yeah, exactly. Nursery Rhyme could definitely be connected to the Necronomicon. I could definitely see it, which is why I fear for if Nursery hangs around Abby too much. Definitely fear that. I head out of Chaldea to hide a bit as usual, and the next thing I know I'm alone in this burning city. Oh, why if it isn't Master and King Gilgamesh? What are you two doing here? That is what I would ask of you, and to answer truthfully. Fail to do so and die. Let us simply say that I wish for everyone to have an opportunity to rest. Everyone is under orders to rest in shifts, but I wonder, can one really call it a rest when it is made mandatory? Yes. To be free of their distress and rest their minds, I believe that to be their best interest. Master, I regret to inform you of this, but... So, Paracelsus, you're saying that parents should not set down bedtimes for their kids. Paracelsus, you disappoint me, man. Bedtimes are a very important thing that children need. Shame. It appears the unconscious staff members were all in contact with Paracelsus last night. We found little medicinal satchels that read safe, cutting-edge, forward-thinking von Hohenheim brand under each of their pillows. At least it didn't say conceited. And what exactly did you do? The staff members were all exhausted, so I simply gave them a special medicine. It is all I can say. Please rest assured, leaving aside the question of ingredients, the medicine is both potent and effective. Until they have adequate rest, nothing can wake them. Well, as to how exhausted they were, that is beyond my knowledge. So if, for example, they were exhausted from 3 days of constant work, they will remain asleep for 3 days. J6, you're talking more proper human history, since Grands are managed by the counterforce and we don't deal with the extra classes. To be fair, proper human history has kind of scorned us. So, you know, I think if we have the backing of the Throne of Heroes, they will give us Grand Class servants. Heck, maybe that's one of the things. One of the things about us being rejected by the Spirit of Humanity is because we abused the extra classes or whatever. So maybe if we can coordinate, I guess would be the best word, a extra class servant as a grand servant, maybe that will get us back into humanity's good graces. Hey Zahak, welcome to the stream. Howdy things, howdy things. Fool, if they are asleep for 3 days straight, they'll wake up dead. What about water and nutrients? Yes, well, we'll simply have to rely on their natural resilience. Fine, before we address the main problem, let us deal with this fool. Understand, mongrel? He's gonna regret this. Not giving me the ability to sleep for 3 days straight. For shame, Paracelsus. And also saying bedtimes are not a good thing. For shame. Wild week this week for you, Zahak? It's understandable. Weeks can be wild, but, you know what? Maybe I can make a better, proper human history. Yeah, maybe. No, actually not. Proper human history doesn't even respect me. After all I've done to save humanity, and this is the thanks I get? Rejected? Amazing. It just brings back bad memories, man. You do a good deed for someone you consider a friend, and then, you know, then they just ghost you. I'm not going down any rabbit holes. I'm too big to get into a rabbit hole. Rabbit holes are very small. Although I am working out and getting better. I have, as of the start of April, started my exercise routine back up. I've restarted the 30-day ab program, and I am seeing some progress. I am indeed seeing some progress with the 30-day ab program, so I'm happy about that. I at the very least have dropped the love handles that I had been forming, which I am very, very happy about. And I've even developed an exercise program that should drop me down to a very nice weight with plenty of muscle within 3 months' time of the start of May. So I'm looking forward to being able to do that, because once I start feeling more confident about my own appearance, I will be getting my face cam back up. It's just, right now, again, I don't like the way I look, so that's why there's no face cam right now. But as soon as I get into better shape, then rest assured, a face cam there will be. The face cam streams will resume. Beep bop boop. You set up a shiny hunting setup across 3 to 6 devices. That sounds like insanity, I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like insanity. But back to what you said, Zahak, a car crash happening across from your house while you're so you were walking home from work, and while you were walking, a car crash literally happened across the street from you. That's honestly kind of wild. I don't think I've ever actually no, I can't say that. I have seen car accidents happen to others that weren't me. One of them was all the way back when I was in high school. Yeah, fully up to you. You have a DS Lite, so it's 6. Nice. One of them was all the way back in high school when I was with a bunch of friends and we were walking to go and get fast food after working on a school project all afternoon. We saw a car crash happen and sort of just kept going when everybody seemed like they were fine. It's like, do we need to stay around to, you know, give a police report or something? The car crash happened, like, across the street. And we just kind of kept walking and didn't really say anything more about the matter. I'll address the next one in a bit. That should take care of matters. Have you learned your lesson, Hohenheim? It hurts very much, so much so that I want to try my own medicine. They were homunculi that I raised myself, but were not strong enough to compensate for my rather unremarkable fighting ability. It pains me to use them as mere pawns. I'm leading you into a trap. Would you still care to accompany me? Yeah, better stop Dr. Feelbad. You could post it in my Discord. I am going to try and start revitalizing it. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's a good car crash there. That's a pretty good car crash. Although, Zahak, you might wanna, if you do post this again, I would crop out that firefighter because it has a city name on the back of them. And that can, you know, that has potential for revealing your location. And I mean, I've kept my location a fairly big, you know, I don't say, but I don't know if you have. Hold it, I understand how you feel, but calm down, Mongrel. There's no need to rush like fools. He's a caster. Unlike the assassin we encountered, he will be easy to track. However, we should try to discern their intent before we do anything. Doesn't he want... He doesn't want to get scolded then? Unbelievable. So this is the level of idiocy I should expect from today's youth. Think, Mongrel, think! He's trying to lure us to follow him, so what is the one thing he would not want us to do? His retreat is an obvious diversion. Don't you think there's somewhere else we should be searching? The Grail. Right, there's nothing else more valuable than that here. Do you think that's the key in figuring out why Jack and Paracelsus are acting strange? Shiny starter in Leaf Green, Emerald on DS Lite and GBA, Shiny Manaphy and Platinum DSi, Jodotar's Heart Gold Soul Silver on your brother's DSi, Shiny Rockruff on Ultra Sun Moon on the 3DS, Shiny Turtwig on BDSP on the Switch. Good gracious, you've been doing a lot of shiny hunting. Excuse me. So, 1 ambulance, 2 fire trucks, 3 cop cars, then when the tow truck pulled in the car in the middle, tire came off with some wires and tubes with it. Ooh. That's a lot of damage. I'm glad to hear that you're fine. Given that you said it happened across the street from you, I kind of figured you were, but still, that is good to hear. Oh, you're fine because it's a big city. Gotcha. That's fair, too. What the hell, guys? You just came straight here, skipped the clever diversion and everything? Should have figured casting the low-energy dweeb as a decoy was a crap decision from the word go. Anyway, guess it's greeting time. I am Master and Lord King Sparkly. Nice job getting here and stuff. Is that the servant detected at the Greater Grail during the Zero incident? His spirit origin isn't registered at Chaldea. What is he doing here? Were you the one who abducted Dr. Roman? Doctor, huh? Nope, no doctor or scientist friends here. But that guy, Dr. Rumi, was it? Well, I've got him, obviously, because I accepted that job. Anyway, you want to go, punks? I better warn you, though. Warn you what, you ask? Well, I'm super weak, so don't bitch when you kill me with that first punch. But you know, if you kill me with one punch, you'll never find that doctor of yours. What? If we just attack, we'll never get the information we want. That is quite the novel hostage tactic, Mongrel. A servant putting his life on the line for negotiations alone? Unbelievable. I shall find the doctor. So let's go all out. Yes, I'm scanning the surrounding area right now, so please deal with this enemy, King Gilgamesh. Oh, is that so? Did you hear that, Avenger, who even I didn't expect here? What's your next move? Well, I really like the bit where you don't care if I die. Not bad. Honestly, this was supposed to be an ambush. I was never super worried about living or dying. As long as my words held your attention, that's all that matters. Master! Gil, behind ya. You call that a warning? That was close. It would have been fatal if it had hit anyone but me. I suppose I'll let it go. Show yourself, third servant. Who is all at this party? It appears I missed my opportunity. I should have moved a heartbeat earlier for a proper surprise attack. Or was it a matter of execution? Was our teamwork perhaps not so great? Impossible. You too, Amakusa. Please tell us, what did you do to the doctor and why? Well, I see. Avenger, do you have something to say about this? You're asking me? Wasn't it something like Operation Eradicate Chaldea or something? Well, that's not exactly artful, but I suppose it will do. Yes, that's exactly what he said. It was the opportune moment. Let us leave it at that. Always vague and guarded, I see. Is this the second time we've met? I suppose it was not me specifically who met you, but our connection is engraved on my spirit origin. I really must give it to you, apocryphal saint. I heard you died very easily in Uruk's jungles. Oh, right. I kind of forgot that he was summoned back then. We didn't see him summoned, but he was summoned, wasn't he? Oh, gosh. Who else was summoned during that? There was a couple servants that were supposedly summoned. I want to say Tomoe was apparently summoned as well. I think Tomoe was one of the servants that was summoned back in Uruk, but I can't remember who else other than Tomoe and, yeah, that's what I just said, Tomoe. It never occurred to me that you had the spine to rebel. Did the ways of the modern man wear on you? You may have made some valid points, but I'll leave the particulars to your imagination. The one thing I can tell you is that I always am and will be myself, no matter where I am. Hey, now that your surprise attack failed, hurry up and get this over with. Our opponent's not the type to be convinced in conversation. Besides, these two are used to hearing your speechifying. Anyway, it's just one key caster. Instead of wasting your energy talking, how about you just kick his ass? Fine, I'll bite, Avenger. This magical staff is another of my precious treasures. I'm going to give you a taste of its power. Anyway, back to the other car crash I've witnessed before. It was a couple years back, as I was going to a dentist appointment. It was garbage day where I am, and I was just sort of minding my own business driving. I was at a stoplight there, and I saw a garbage truck, go down the street, like across, because they had the right of way, so they went across. And I didn't see them go further beyond because there was some trees and other foliage sort of blocking the way. And on the other side of the intersection, at the stoplight, somebody turned right on red, which is a fine thing to do. They signaled properly and everything, and I didn't see anything beyond that. But as soon as I turned left onto that same street, I see that very same car that turned right on red pretty much crunched beneath the back of the garbage truck. And it was a little old lady that drove it as well. She was fine, but what I'm guessing happened is she did not pay attention to the fact that there was a garbage truck literally like 20 to 30 feet beyond the turn. And so as soon as she turned, she just hit the gas and crushed her own vehicle. It was kind of wild to see, and I am glad that little old lady was okay. Anyways, back to this. Push some buttons. Push some buttons. Push a couple more buttons. And a couple more buttons. I think 2 more buttons will do. You know what? Let's do 3 more buttons, because I'm feeling crazy here. And then a doop-dop. Ushi, Benkei, Leonidas, Amakusa, Kotaro, Ibaraki. Right, Ibaraki, she abandoned. I remember Ibaraki now. She, led a bunch of bandits, or whatever. I do have memories of Ibaraki now. But Kotaro, Amakusa, I did not remember them being said to be summoned. So that's interesting. Very interesting. Doop-dap-deep. Man, I might have to go back one time and, watch some of my early FGO content. Just to see if I can, compare and contrast early me streaming in confidence compared to current me streaming in confidence. Because FGO is really what let me take off as a streamer. I mean, before that, I was, single-digit followers streaming Minecraft, Darkest Dungeon, and the like, and then as soon as I start streaming FGO content, my viewership skyrockets, as does my follower count. Man, I love FGO. Ouch, that really stings. Hurts like hell, but you didn't kill me, King of Heroes. Now brace for this. It's time for the Avenger's Grudge, a curse that doubles the pain you caused and returns it to you. Vesta's reversal. It's it? How dare you? I won't let you. Ah! Impudent. But it was a good shot. I imagine your battle at Fuma's side was quite the sight to behold, and yet you were still defeated. Well, we would have found out that Fuma was there as well. Thank you, Gil, for telling us something that we would have found out, or that we found out like a couple minutes earlier. Perhaps you met some terrible monster. Was your enemy a beast beyond your imagination? As I can never look at a leopard again. That servant defeated me utterly. You lost Amakusa. You lost to Jaguar Warrior. Jaguar Warrior defeated Amakusa Shiro and Fuma Kotaro. Wow. That's honestly a big wow. Okay. Surprising. Jaguar Warrior gets some respect for that. Definitely gets some respect, but, wow. Well, what about you? You have the same sort of priorities and manner of thinking as I do. So I understand your train of thought, and if I know what you're thinking, I can find an opening. It appears the rationality and cool-headedness of yours went out the windows in that jungle. It's all well and good to be reasonable in your analysis, but you're not strong enough to take the initiative. You are what they call a pushover. True, she is a divine spirit. Jaguar Warrior is indeed divine, but still she was... Pardon the yawn. She was kind of played up as a joke character back then. So it's kind of surprising. I will crush you both. By my order, ready the arrows. Use my treasury to show them the power that protects Uruk. My resolve shall flood the earth. Yes, I know, and I'm going into this battle with every awareness. Divine judgment. Calm yourself, he's taken his turn, so now we're on a level field. Now it's your turn. Use the gander on the mango! Oh man, ow, even gander hurts. So you managed to stop his verge Avesta. A wise decision, as I would expect from my master. His curse returns attacks much stronger to its victim. Had it not been stopped, the King of Heroes surely would have fallen, but... what about after that? My double phantasm will hit the King of Heroes before he can act. Allow me to demonstrate. Heaven's Feel activate. Bring an end to all things. Ha! I can't stop laughing. Forget about me, you've underestimated my treasures. Even if I can't move my treasures, no one enact my will. Take this. Melamu. Dean. Hey, what are you all doing out there? Doctor? Hermione just barged in. We actually don't know what's going on ourselves. Canonically, yep, we have harem protagonist EX. We do indeed have harem protagonist EX. Where the heck were you all this time? Where? Actually, I was wondering what's going on here. I was just taking a nap in my room for about 4 hours. I had a really great dream, but a nap shouldn't make me a missing person or anything. That's a lie. You didn't show up on the surveillance cameras in your room. Looks like we can end our battle here now that Dr. Roman is awake. Guess so. Saintly here is awfully quick to throw in the towel. Ain't it a shame that you were this close to taking him down? Well, guess I better just disappear. That was my chance to kill something that resembled a human. Didn't matter who it was. Does Merlin think I'll be grateful? I can't believe he'd stop this at the moment I was in mortal peril. No matter, if he woke up, there's no reason for us to remain here. We can talk more when we get back to Chaldea. Mash, prepare to ray-shift us back. I hope you know ray-shifting isn't free. Fine, I still don't understand the situation, but prepare for the return to Vinci. Mash, help me out. Please, do not forget to collect Jack the Ripper and Paracelsus, too. And Jack in particular listened to us very well, so please take especially good care of her later. Okay, so Jack is not a bad girl. She was being a good girl who was led on by bad adults. That's kind of a morbid thing to say. So we definitely need to teach Jack who is somebody she can listen to and who she should not listen to. Let me get this straight to the point. This whole crisis was, in actuality, a drill. Everything happened according to my design and guidance. I made it look like Romani left Chaldea by ray-shifting, made the staff members fall asleep, and arranged for 3 servants to act as enemies. Okay, why would you do such a thing? After touring Chaldea with Sol, I got the general grasp of Chaldea's vulnerability. I have tons of things to point out, but the biggest issue is the humans. This place's operation is dependent on each individual's skills. The organization would collapse the moment someone goes out of commission. I'm sorry, Gil, but you're kind of wrong there. Because a lot of the organization is technically about to be going out of commission soon. Actually, about a year from the time this interlude presumably takes place. But yeah, we do lose a lot of our operating power, so... And we're turning out okay. Now, if we went out of commission, that's another story. Well, everyone seems to know this. There's never been any countermeasures of contingency in place. A solution, well, it may be difficult to find one until humanity is restored, since there is presently no way to replenish lost personnel. So plans must be made to prepare for even the worst-case scenarios. Consequently, I anticipated certain possible crises. The King of Mages could attack Chaldea directly, for instance, so this was to prepare for such an eventuality as well. So that's why he was enjoying himself. Hey, Mr. King, what about my reward? Just a moment longer. I've never failed to reward those who deserve it. The longer you wait, the greater your joy will be when you receive your reward. Okay, don't forget Nursery's gift too. Now then, while the scenario didn't quite go as planned, you all worked hard. You were like the organs in a body compensating for other missing organs. Seeing how this has gone, even with those who have fallen asleep may wake up and drift back off from sheer ease of mind. What about Paracelsus's medicine? I would like to reiterate that this medicine simply makes people sleep until they're rested. A single dose should have no significant side effects. I prepared a stimulant, but that appears to be unnecessary. Everybody should awake shortly. But what you said in Singularity was more than a little disturbing. I was only speaking of the effects of an overdose. This may have only been an exercise, but I would never lie to Sol. Well, if you don't believe me, I suppose I am to blame for that. Try not to dwell on it too much. I selected those who had the highest probability of turning on you. I wanted to test all of you to see how you would react to the situation. But you all managed to determine the cause of the issue and successfully executed a ray shift, even with some hiccups along the way. You all still pass. So that's what happened. Now I can get the big picture. I understand your concern, but don't you think you went a little overboard with all this? What would you have done if the King of Mages had actually attacked during this drill? I planned that at the start as well. Had there been an actual emergency, I arranged it so that everything would return to its appropriate place. You fell asleep and no one was able to find you because Merlin assisted me. I knew it, that no-good caster would definitely do something like that with a big smile on his face. After all, the illusion power of that swindling mage can fool humans and electronic devices. He'd have no trouble tricking our cameras. But Chaldea wasn't the only thing that I tested during this drill. Mongrel. How could you not anticipate a situation where one of your servants betrayed you? You're unbelievably naive and soft-hearted. You took a break. Regulation I is out. Oh no. What's the changes that's making you suffer, man? What are the changes that are making you suffer? So, what's the best response here? They won't betray me, or I'll make sure that never happens. Because we know our servants will soft betray us. They'll never hard betray us. Like, I can't think of a time a servant has hard betrayed us, so I think soft betrayal is never going to happen. So we're going to just do our best to make sure it never does. I see. It seems I am the fool for once. There's no sense trying to convince an idiot, and I suppose that makes me an idiot for failing to consider that. You know, there's an excellent quote I heard recently. Let me see if I can't look it back up. What was it? Yeah, don't weep for the stupid, you'll be crying all day. Yeah, so, Gil, don't weep for me because I'm stupid, because you will probably be crying all day. What are you talking about, King Gilgamesh? This is Chaldea, humanity's final stronghold. Infighting and backstabbing, those are concerns for after humanity is restored. Whether we're human or heroic spirit, everyone has assembled here for the same single goal. I suppose that is true. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be here either. Fine, forget betrayals. The rest, well, we shall see. By the way, Mongrel, I quite enjoyed watching your reactions to all of this. While far from ideal, your decisions were fascinating. Reflect back on your responses here later. So, it sounds like I'm the one who benefited the most from this. Not only did I get ample rest, but I had the best dream. My dream, Majimari did. No. I better keep that Merlin. Merlin, what did you do, man? What did you do, Merlin? I know you're an incubus, but... Dude. Merlin. No. Man. Quit your daydreaming. You're making it sound like I did all this for you. No, you didn't. That was actually the first time I had a different dream from my usual one. I'm going to sleep. Wake me if something happens. No, don't bother. I'll wake up on my own. But why do you want to know who wrote that quote, J6? And he left angry. Well, I'm sure he'll be in a good mood again soon. That king has a lot in his mind. He's not one to dwell on one single thing for too long. But anyway, I'm sorry, everyone. If I were more dependable, I'd have woken up earlier. That's fine. It's good that you got enough sleep for a change, and we realized how much we value you. Yes, we wouldn't know what to do without you, Doctor. You're the one who's pulled everything together and led this Chaldea this far. We'll be together? Oh gosh, why do we... Oh. Why would they throw that line there? This comes after the end. Why would they give us that line? Oh, that's just cruel, man. Giving us that line to say is just cruel. Haven't we suffered enough, man? Of course, we've all been fighting to reclaim our future. I know I caused you all trouble this time, but I still want to thank you. Thanks. I feel like I slept well. Sure it wasn't thanks to Majimari? No. Of course not. Well, maybe just a little. Anyway, we need to finish our work for the day. It's almost dinner time. Let's get our work wrapped up and then all go to the cafeteria together. But, as for who that quote is from, it is from one Alexander Anderson from Helsing Abridged. Yeah. It's a good quote, so I think I'm going to try and incorporate it more because it's a good quote. I forgot to claim my present box as well earlier. That's my bad. That was supposed to be something I did at the start of the stream. There we go. Now my present box should be a little bit thinned out. I do need to do the golden foes as well. But that can wait until after we do the coup interlude. The Sage of the Forest. How long is this one going to be is the question. Okay, this is probably going to be a shorter one, but that is to be expected. Alright. We'll do a little this. And a little bit of switch for the coup. Oh, Cuckoo-Lane, oh, Cuckoo-Lane. Where the heck are you, Cuckoo-Lane? There you are. Excuse me. I can get away with a Bond CE at this point. How are the shelters doing? 8, so 295. Base shelter is about to be Bond 9. That's good. That's good. She definitely deserves it. So let's go. Let's go. Womp 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 womp. Pure water and unpolluted air. This is a calm forest, isn't it? Foo-foo! Do you feel that way too, Fo? Even with the buzzing tree leaves and chirping sound of birds. For some reason, I think of only serenity. Is it because there's no humans here? It is nice, isn't it? Yes, senpai. Forests are nice. Well, that's because animals and plants are singing the praises of life here. Despite the bustle of people and other things, forests can stand up as forests solely by themselves. It's not the domain of people in the first place, though almost the entire Earth is dominated by humans now. Animals, plants, fairies, gods, compared to those in the forest, humans are just extras. So an uninvited guest, is that who we are? No, it's not that stiff. But how awful. The forest around here feels off. I came to take a look, and the air is just too rough. I didn't pick up anything here. Is there really a distortion here, Cuchulainn? Second singularity. The first century you guys fixed. This is the northeastern Ireland in that time period. Sure, from the measurement, there seems to be a delay in this air's correction, but is it a distortion? Looking at the numbers, it just seems to be a quiet forest. I don't know about your situation, but you shouldn't take forests lightly. Forests have been around since before mankind. They may even have been around from the age of gods before even that. Manipulating humans is exactly what it does best. Just look at that. Woo! A Beastman monster? What? I didn't pick up anything here. Oh, but it looks like there's a slight trace of magical energy reaction. I bet it's part of this forest. Anyway, I don't think it's here to welcome us. Now you make a sound for us. It's coming, senpai. Prepare for battle. Understood, master. You know, I kind of wonder how long it will take me to get through all the early game interludes here. Hang on. Beep. Go to the Fate Grand Order. No, not Phantom. I want my level up doc. Show me my level up doc here. I gotta see who all is an early game servant that I have not yet leveled. Do that deet. So Tristan is one potential candidate for an early game that needs to be leveled. Tomoe, I don't remember when she was released. She's Epic of Remnant era, so I'm not gonna count her though. Do that deet. So far Tristan is at the top, but he's just one. Ishtar is there. Date. Oh, it's like a Hime, maybe? Cersei, maybe? Is that plus or minus to Tiamat, J6? Please tell me it's a plus. Please, because you didn't specify. Artemis, for sure. I think I'm gonna take Cersei off. And Hime, because she was a third Halloween event. Oh, sometimes you guys trick me. Let's be honest, you guys trick me sometimes. You'll say the name and I'll start putting them up and say, no, I meant minus. You guys have tricked me before, so. Kid Gil is one. David is another. Fergus. Sabergyle, Caesar, Toda, Billy, Robin, Diarmund, Hector, Ben K. Hang on. I'm going through and counting things gradually, so give me just a moment here. Okay, Tiamat will be up by 3. So round 7, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34 maybe technically. So I have 34 servants, I think, that are still pretty much considered Part 1 servants that are not leveled up, and thus may or may not have interludes that need doing. The true mother is at the top. Alright, Sage of the Forest, second arrow. Let's go. But I'm not sure if I'm... I could do it. I said that I'm not going to be... I have gone on record and said that I'm not going to be leveling up any servants that have no ranking points, because at that point it's just the servants that I want ranked up are getting ranked up. But Tiamat now is at the top of the list. So technically that qualifies as me being able to rank Tiamat up. Cleaned up for the most part. You could say it was done as planned, but rough, you know? Kukulane, do you have any idea about the distortion that's left in the 1st century? Yeah, I do. I'm Kukulane and Ulster here, you know. I'm not used to this calendar style called century, but this is my era. Oh, really? Yes, Senpai, in the era in which he was alive. The specific period of Celt and Ulster legends are presumed to be from 100 BC to 180. Precisely. That said, the me that was alive already died decades ago by now. For some reason, I feel attached to this era. I don't know why, I can just feel something. Maybe that's also because I manifested as a caster. I am more keen at picking up magical energy. I see, that's why you were able to sense the distortion happening in your hometown. My hometown, you say? Still, I think it's because I'm a caster. It's the forest. I'm a Celtic, a man of Ulster. If I'm a mage, then that can only mean that I became that. A druid. The runes I use are originated from Norse legends, but Celtic mages are normally druids. So Celtic shamans. Yes, Senpai, the Celtic priests are referred to as druids. They are people who have a deep relationship with the forest and the monument. The forest and monument, and can perform mystics the same as magecrafts we know. Of course, they existed in my time too, however I'm not actually a druid. Like I said before, the type of magecraft I use is runes. I combine the rune characters here and there and to perform the mystics. However, there's an exception. When I manifested in this form, I obtained it as a noble phantasm. It was given to me since I was a Celtic mage. Wickerman, the Cage of All-Consuming Flame. Right, flame noble phantasm given to me after becoming a Celtic mage, who can manipulate the blazing heat. Originally, it's a noble phantasm for druids, since it was a magical tool used in sacrificial offerings. That's what summoned me here, telling me to stop the distortion. Hey, Zahak, +3 to Draco. Alrighty. You mean the distortion in this forest was... The forest won't die. All forests without men. So they shall not be incinerated. The forests shall be preserved, even if mankind ends up perishing. See, that's a demonstrably wrong statement, because when Sephiroth came around and wiped out everything because the fairies were lazy asses and didn't forge Excalibur, Sephiroth wiped out all the landmass as well. So, you know, it wasn't just humanity, it was all of land. Heck, humanity survived the extinction of the land, technically speaking, Mr. Forest, so you're wrong. Bingo, that's one distorting this forest and preventing the correction of this era. That thing is a druid, but also more than that. Fearing the incineration of worlds, a cluster of madness, a collection of dead souls who couldn't ascend to the throne of heroes. You actually thought you could kill me using a beast man. Hey, you guys, I'm talking to you. The forest won't die. All forests will continue to be without mankind. Silence, ghost. Be a man or fairy, you're part of the forest if you live there. This lecture, you guys are the ones supposed to say it, right? Natural energy reaction approaching, Senpai. An enemy is coming. Prepare for battle. Yes, Master. Take this as my kindness to you, and be incinerated by the flames of the Wicker Man. Wicker Man. Burn in the flames of Wicker Man. Lots of druid ghosts. I think this will be fine. Probably. Let's do again. Debuffs, increase attack, apply sacrifice, stay at the... Yep, let's do it. Alright, Goo. Blast him! Get blasting. Alright, I think I've decided I will indeed level up Tiamam here after this. Because I do have golden foes I need to feed to Xelter as well, so that'll be an excellent time to do so. Excuse me. Well, that is Cascoo's interlude completed. Nice. Very, very nice. Victory confirmed. The battle's over, Senpai. Oh. Gosh, my job was over at this point then. Time to go home now. Thanks for coming with me. You want to go see your friends? I'll pass. Sure, I'd like to meet up with some people, but, well, you know, I'm a mage now. Who knows what could happen if I went back like this. Right, because druids hold a special position in the Celtic cultural world, you know? If the hero Cuchulainn, who was supposed to be dead, came back as a druid, then there'll be a huge uproar. I bet a bunch of countries will rise and fall. They definitely have gotten better at the spacing of their words, because that was a very abrupt cut. Like, the comma and then a whole new text box when it should have just been all contained in one scrolling one. It's interesting to see the early game interludes as well, just because you can see not just dialogue and story improvements, but design improvements as well. That's right. So, well, this is it. I got to breathe in some nostalgic air. Nice. Well, let's go back now. Let's go back. Yes, Senpai? Whee! And that's the interlude. 2 quartz. Ku's servant profile has been updated. When he manifests as a caster, it is believed he imposes the role of a guide to himself, not as a true druid, but as a temporary one. As long as they are together, he will continue to guide and illuminate the path his master shall walk on. It did not unlock a second interlude, like I guessed it might have. Interesting. But, like I said, I think I am going to feed Xelter these golden foes here, because she is deserving of them. And then, since Tiamam is now no longer at a 0 points, and just the fact that a servant is at some points, I think it'll be time. First, though, I need to find the Xelter that I am working on, and it is this Xelter. 4 and 4. Okay, we are very close to this Xelter being a 2k. After her, I think Kama might be the next contestant that I work on. Yeah, I think Kama is a good candidate for next contestant. I am very low on the embers in my present box. I did not realize that. I truly did not realize that. Yeah, I think Kama next. But that's for the future. For the present, we find Tiamam towards the bottom. We foe her up. And it has officially begun. The Tiamam leveling shall commence. Plus, I've got super and great sucks going on, so that's good. This is nothing. It will be more than nothing. Worry not, Tiamam. Worry not. Be fed the embers and be full. Super! It tickles. Okay. It tickles going down. That's a little disturbing because that is implying these embers are wiggling or something. Which is, again, kind of disturbing, but you know. Maybe that's just a Tiamat thing. There, she's happy. Gotta love it when Tiamat is happy. I have to say, I am very glad we finally got Tiamat as a servant. I am very glad. She is long overdue. And the event utilized her very well as well. Willem Harlot really was an A-tier event, and I look forward to whatever Ordeal Call will have inside of it. I do so look forward to Ordeal Call. As for what my anticipation for what Ordeal Call will be, honestly, I have no anticipations. We're gonna be doing something with the extra classes. This is nothing. If I had to guess, I would say we're probably gonna go in, like, order of release of extra classes, which would mean... Good gracious, my throat is dry. Which would mean Ruler, Avenger, Alter Ego, Foreigner. Also Ascension. Time to change. Humans sure are fashionable. We've unlocked Eye of the Red Star B. Gotta say, I love Second Ascension Tiamat. It is adorable. Look how happy she is. I think I might actually keep her in Second Ascension as well. Nothing wrong with her Third Ascension. I do like Third Ascension as well. Actually, maybe I'll have Tiamat be another altar. Like, maybe Tiamat will be another servant that I sort of set to freely shift around her Ascension outfits. Might be that. Ordeal Call is uncharted territory for you. Does that mean you're going to read through the Ordeal Call chapters, or are you going to be relying on me reading them? There's no change. Mother's a bit disappointed. Pure Prism. So are you going to be following alongside me, or are you going to be doing your own thing, since I'm going to be likely taking 1+ week to clear any Ordeal Call chapter? Kind of depends, I guess, on how long they are. If they are Epic of Remnant length, then it might not be too bad. Neither. So you're not going to keep up with them yourself, then. Essentially. Oh. I don't have any XP stored. 50. 50. 50. Yeesh, I am very low. You're continuing your backlog of visual novels. Fair. Completely fair. Do what you want to do. That's what we're all here for. You want to do what you should do what you want to do, as long as it does not hurt others. Alrighty. Let's get to Final Ascension Tiamat. Or Third Ascension. See what her Final Ascension artwork is, and then make a judgment call. I mean, I like this. I grew. I'm not scary. I'm not scary. No, you are not scary there, Tiamat. I won't cry anymore. Aww. That's good. Yeah, I mean, I do like this Ascension of Tiamat, but it's just, the Second Ascension is so adorable. You're gonna hurt yourself emotionally. I think that's enough to qualify for the no bullying yourself rule, J6. So, no bullying yourself, man. Don't cause yourself pain, even if it's just emotional. Yeah, visual novels can be quite depressing, indeed. I will admit that. Some visual novels can be quite depressing. Okay. Memories of being in the sea. You come closer to me. Yes. Hold hand. Lonely. Sad. But proud. Even if it is time to go, don't cry. Don't leave. Don't forget this memory. That's kind of sweet. That is a very sweet line. And she is very affectionate, as expected. Alright. That is max leveled Tiamat. So now it is her skills turn to get maxed out, because I did use her well enough in that event that I think she is certainly deserving of being a 10-10-10. Question is, will I be able to afford 10-10-10? Right now it's just gem, but will it switch over to another material is the question. So 555 is looking fine, as is 666. 777 will do. Dun. 888 is fine. What about 999? It's gonna be a little tight with those star things, but we should be able to 10-10-10 TMM. Alrighty. So, while I do that, I think I am going to start my sign-off procedures here, because I've done the 2 interludes that I tend to do when I stream, so I'm going to call it here. So, for now, I've been Soul Dragon. I hope you've all enjoyed today's stream. If you have, leave me some feedback in whichever way you so see fit. If you want to check out more by me, be sure to check out my channel here on Twitch or YouTube. Same name, same games, there's plenty of content for all to enjoy. It does sound like we will be getting into Ordeal Call here soon, so expect another series of times when the stream schedule isn't exactly accurate, as I have to just stream daily until I get the story done, because that's the kind of guy I am. But that is all for the future. That is all in the future of like 1 month. Oh gosh, that just occurred to me. It needs to be it needs to be earlier rather than later in May, otherwise I'm not going to be able to get Night Rain played at any good pace. Shoot. I'm gonna have to push myself. Okay. So Night Rain is going to necessitate, or the release of Night Rain is going to necessitate that I run my voice ragged. Okay. Preparing for voice being run ragged in order to get Night Rain fully done and dusted, or in order to get Night Rain on time. But that is the future of me's concerns. Once again, thank you all so much for coming out. I hope you enjoyed. Have a fantastic evening, everybody. And wish me luck for future website development stuff, because I struggled a little bit, but got through it on the first bit. I can only imagine what's going to be next.